Hello everyone. Today we are doing the chapter 8 Silk Road from Hornbill, and the writer is Nick Middleton. Let us know something about the writer first. Nick Middleton was born in 1960 in United Kingdom, London. He has been a widely travelled man and he has visited more than 70 countries. His most famous books are based on his personal experiences of his journey throughout the world. Silk Road has also been taken from one of his famous books, Going to Extremes. His other famous books are Rivers and Global Casino. Apart from traveling, he likes to teach in schools and colleges and particularly the subject geography. Kora to Mount Kailash. You should know the Kora is a religious journey, and here Nick Middleton, by nature he was a traveler, so he wished that he should go to Mount Kailash and Lake Mansarovar, and this Kora is a religious journey. So one fine morning, Nick Middleton said goodbye to Lamo. Lamo is a woman with whom he was staying there at Revu. He said farewell as he was going to Kora to Mount Kailash now. Ravu is a place of gently rolling hills across an open plain with nothing in it except a few gazelles. Gazelle is an animal basically that lives in herd and of deer category. And a complete void, open, vast plains, nothing, no activity at all. No human lives there. He was accompanied by his driver Saturn. He was guide as well as a driver. They took a turn from Revu to southwest, almost directly towards Mount Kailash, crossing several fairly high trails. Long before they could move to the plains, they witnessed a great herd of wild ass, and his friend Saturn told him that he knew that they were approaching them by looking at the pall of dust high in the sky. Drogbas, the solitary nomads. Drogbas are the herders basically. These are the native people who keep big herd of animals, and they are nomads. As the hills passed upward, they faced solitary Drogbas tending their flocks, sometimes men, sometimes women, well-wrapped figures. Their beast, the great Tipton Mastiff. Let me tell you, Tipton Mastiff is a breed of dog, very famous and very ferocious dog it is. So these Drogbas keep Tipton Mastiff for different purposes, basically as guard for their flocks. These Tipton Mastiff, they always stood guard. The beast would cock their big heads and approach anybody fixed in their sight. They were shaggy monsters, blacker than night, usually put on with bright red collars, and would bark furiously with massive jaws. They were completely fearless of any obstacle. They straightaway shooted into the path of the rider and Saturn and forced them to brake and swerve their vehicle. Now the writer was clear why Tipton Mastiff became so popular in China's imperial courts as hunting dogs, and they were traded along the Silk Road in ancient times. Unprecedented problems faced during that journey. Unprecedented here means which you do not expect or unforeseen. As the writer and his team gained height, they could see brilliant white snow glinting in the sunshine. The trail became narrow and steep and bumpier. The turns became sharper. Saturn drove the vehicle in the third gear because he wanted to be very careful in such a kind of trail. They climbed as they climbed, the problems aggravated by steeper slopes spotted by big rocks and patches of bright orange lichen. Lichen, is a kind of vegetation that grow there. There was a permanent snow cloak at different places, which became very slippery. Here the writer felt the effect of weather. His health, that deteriorated. He felt his nostril blocked and he snorted to clear them. The first encounter with snow. At a height of 5,210 meters above the sea level, they faced the white stuff which lay across the track. This was the first time they had met that snow. No way to cross around the snow patch. All climbed down the vehicle and threw some dirt, some earth on the snow and very carefully moved on, stamping their feet from time to time to ascertain how sturdy it was. Again, 10 minutes later, they faced another blockage. The slope was steep and studded with rocks there, major rocks, but somehow they negotiated it. In doing so, Saturn cut off one of the hairpin bend. That means a very sharp turn, regaining the trail up where the snow had not drifted. Finally, they reached the top of the pass at 5,500 meters, marked by cairn of rocks, festooned with white silk scarves and ragged with prayer flags. This place is basically, has a historical significance and related with the religion Buddhism. The people there, they believe in Buddhism, and that is why they had put on these flags. They checked petrol tank and partially unscrewed the top lid, which emitted a loud hiss. The pressure was high. It was 2 o'clock when they careered down the other side and reached a salt plain, basically a dry salt lake. Historically, the plain is associated with Tethys Ocean and pock-marked with salt flats, and this was a result of great continental collision that lifted it skyward, resulting into the creation of great Himalayas. That is the end of this lecture. See you for the next lecture. Till then, have a nice time.